Hey, friendos, this is Laz. Welcome on back to the Fright Club, your one-stop shop for all things horror. And I'm now coming right out of Cinemark after watching Godzilla Minus One. Um, Now, a little backstory on my Godzilla fandom, so to speak. I have been a fan of Godzilla since I was 7 or 8, about that, around that ballpark anyway. I first discovered a book in my public library, and it was a series of books about certain monsters like Dracula, Frankenstein, and they had one about Godzilla. I read it, took it home, read it a lot, and from that became obsessed. And then my first Godzilla movie I saw was Godzilla 1985. I want to say, I don't know if I saw that in 85 or 86, but I'm going to say I've been a Godzilla fan since I was like 7 or 8. And seen them all. Um, been trying to see as many of them in theaters as I can. And this is a hell of a movie, kids. It's kind of a prequel to Godzilla, the original movie. I want to say, and I only say kind of because they throw dates at me in this movie, and I don't know dates from previous movies. I don't know. I'm just not that well versed, so I'm not sure exactly where this lands. I know. Uh, yeah, I know it's after World War II, but in my head, this is movie a prequel. But the basic plot is a disgraced, failed kamikaze pilot. Him, a lady he meets uh, after he gets home and he finds out the entire town has just been destroyed from the war. He meets this chippy and her and the kid that she is taking care of, and they become a family. They become a unit, so to speak. The big money. He winds up working on a boat where they basically find mines. And this guy met Godzilla before he became Godzilla. Basically, he met Zilla, minus the iguana-looking thing. But it was Godzilla before he became nuclear powered. And this movie is, you know, letting go of the past, learning how to live, making things right, the effects of war and just destruction on people. It's a brilliant movie. And Godzilla looks all kinds of badass. Like, I am never going to be a giant fan of the CGI Godzilla. It's just, I was raised on dude in a suit, so that's what I prefer. But between the American version of Godzilla and the Japanese version of Godzilla, Godzilla fans, back me up here. You know this to be true. The Japanese Godzilla always has a little bit of something extra. Bit more of a spark, bit more personality, bit more of the fact that you're like, ooh, he's dangerous. And there's no exception to this one. This one makes Godzilla terrifying, like absolutely terrifying, and a force of nature. Uh, and the one thing that the Japanese movies have been doing lately that the American films have trouble with is the human element isn't boring. Again, talk to any Godzilla fan. For a lot of the Godzilla movies, particularly the ones in the 70s, the hardest thing to get through were the non-monster bits. Um, like for me, Hollywood only did it once, with Godzilla King of the Monsters. Like, I didn't find the human bits boring. So yeah, that's your basic structure. I'm not gonna go detail in it. But I will say this movie is a blast, no pun intended. Uh, it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's uh it's a must watch for a Godzilla fan. And also, this would be a good movie. If you have people who aren't Godzilla fans who are questioning it, maybe there's like get them to it. So all in all, this movie for me gets an A minus. I suggest you all go out and see it. So until next time, kids, catch you all in the Fright Zone.